Right, if you're not very comfortable using the brush to sketch out your self-portrait or any other work, you can use a pencil or charcoal. Charcoal is sticks of burnt wood. It can come in different sizes, different thicknesses. You can even use mango barbecue charcoal. Just break a bit off and you've got your charcoal. Now, when you start your self-portrait, I would start with a basic centre line down the centre of your face, then a line creating a cross where the eyebrows begin, a line where you think the eyes are located on the horizon, a line with the nose, the mouth, the chin, and the top of the forehead. This is kind of mapping out the features of your face. So at that point, if that's the edge of the nose, and we take a line down to there, a line down to there, to give a rough feeling where the nose is. It goes up to the eyebrows, eyebrows in that position, again. Then we got, if that's the edge of the nose, then I would say the eye, which I think you call the girl's baby, starts there. And if you run a line up there, and you've got the eye there, and that's where the pupil is approximately there. So what we're doing is we're mapping out where we think our particular personal features are. Then if you draw a circle around about that position, and you can begin, and another half circle there, you put a rough feeling where the nose is. Okay? And then you've got the filter, which is above your lip there, then the beginning of the mouth there. So we're going to do a simple position of the top lip. Depends how wide your bottom lip is. But when you do the top lip, you want to keep that dark. Okay? Then you've got the bottom shadow underneath the lip and the chin's about there. Okay? So if we say we're going to put roughly position of the eyes, we can begin, as you see, to locate, that's the eye socket, coming down, cheekbone there, cheekbone roughly there, ear, depends on the shape of your ear, approximately there, and then cheek goes in, comes out to the jawline. Depends what sort of chin you've got, if you've got a strong or weak chin. And the beginnings of the neck. So basically we quickly located the basic features of our face. Okay? Bearing in mind, obviously, if you take a skull, you've got the recess of the eye sockets, the nose, this is a cheekbone here, the jawline. So the eyes, nose, mouth, jaw, top of the forehead. Okay? So we've got a rough positioning of the rough features of where we think our face and features are. This is just a simple mapping out process. If you want to take it further, then you can use the charcoal on its side, and you can start putting in where you think shadows are. If that's the shadow side, you can begin to work where you think the shadows are. under the chin to there. Okay? Then you've got the cheekbones there. Then, with charcoal, it's like painting. You move it around like a piece of clay. You take a putty rubber or a normal white rubber, you begin to draw again. You can create different tones. You can say, that's a bit too dark, the nose is approximately coming up there. So you draw with the putty, the rubber itself. Okay? Then you look again. Again, as I said to you before, painting is an ongoing journey from room to room. And you start to make interesting marks which you think relate to your particular features. And by moving the charcoal around, you begin to create different tonal values. Go back to the rubber, you say that's light there. And you begin to redraw, because you're constantly redrawing and mapping out to question your observation. And there's the cheekbones coming up there, and again it depends on your ear. Then we go back to the rubber, we say that's not quite how the ear looks. You take the rubber again, come in, and then basically you keep on moving around the charcoal and you try to keep it moving to create energy and vitality. I'm working at an angle because of the camera position, so I'm just kind of trying to roughly demonstrate the possibilities. And this helps you begin to understand the lights and darks. Use your fingers as well. Remember, that's the eye socket like I showed you with the skull. That's the nose position. Now this is going to be lower. Again, go back to the rubber. Just bring a bit of light into that area. And obviously, give you a slight shadow under the nose. So basically we just got a quickly rough sketch of a particular face and portrait we're dealing with. Again, as I said, we're feeling our way around. We're trying to understand the problem at hand, visually, the visual problem. Like a piece of clay, we're moulding the charcoal, we're moving it around, you know. So this is just a quick sketch, just from the imagination really, to give you an idea how to use charcoal. So once we've got that, rough positioning, then we can fix it with some lacquer, some hair lacquer. Obviously, as I said, I'm working at an angle, so it's a little bit more tricky rather than face on. As I said, under the chin there will be underneath the shadow. Jawline coming down there. So again, I'm just doing a rough quick sketch to illustrate and give you an idea how we can use charcoal to kind of formulate the lights and darks. And okay, so we've got a rough sketch here. I could work on this all morning, moving it around, pushing the tones from one place to another, lightening in some areas, darkening in some other areas. But you're beginning to, like a piece of clay, mould the form, the human clay, but not with clay, but with charcoal and paint. So at this point, we could spray this with lacquer or fixative, which is more expensive, so you can use hair lacquer, which is cheaper, same chemical. Once it's fixed, then we could paint over that. So then we could begin to say, you know, mix our colours up like I showed you before in project 1 and the previous projects. Mix 4 or 5 colours, tonal values together, and then you would say perhaps under the eye here, this area here, under the eye socket, there's going to be a kind of purpley greenish shadow. That doesn't mean bright green or bright purple, that means a flesh tone, the basic flesh tone, then you add some green, some purple until you get a feeling of the tone that we're dealing with. And obviously there'd be a highlight there if the light's coming from here, this side's in shadow. And the nose area here again. Did you see what I'm doing? I'm cutting into the charcoal to bring lights and darks. And that's what we're doing, or we will do with the paint as well. But don't paint one big pink face. Break it down. If you see a shape like that, and it's one colour, and then there's another shape like that, and like that, you paint individual shapes with different tonal values. So, like a jigsaw puzzle. Break it down. Everyone can draw geometric shapes, generally. So instead of trying to be Leonardo da Vinci, just try to break down the shapes you see. Forget about drawing an eye in one go. You say, oh, there's a shape, and there's a shape there, and it's one colour. And we come down to there, and it's a different tone. Okay, so we break it down into different tonal values. Every different shape you see, like I've made with a rubber, so you can see it quite clearly, that shape, that shape. That's the way you paint. You make a tonal value of that shape, you paint that shape, just that shape. You go up to here, it's a different shape and a different tonal value, a darker one. And you go through mapping out the face in that way. So I hope that helps you begin to understand the basic way of starting the portrait. And obviously each week we will develop it together. Good luck.